I'm an old school boxing fan, and I go back to 15 round championship fights. Tate, where Weaver was down behind on all the scorecards. Incredible comeback to knock out Big John Tate. Changed not only Tate's boxing career, but his life, which ended in tragedy later. Muhammad Ali, Ken Norton, all 3 fights. His 3 fights against Smoking Joe Frazier. Alexis Arguello, Aaron Pryor. Leonard Hearns. If that fight's 12 rounds, Leonard loses. We've seen some great championship fights over the years. I just named a couple off the top of my head. But I know one thing. Something's wrong with boxing. In my opinion, ever since they went to 12 rounds. The fights are too close. What used to determine the champions from the average fighters, the greats from the not so great, were rounds 12 to 15. And there are people out there who know what I'm talking about. That separated the men from the boys. Norton Holmes, fight of the decade. Great fight. Ken Norton showed some heart in those championship rounds. Outstanding fight. We can go on and on about 15 round title fights. And in the last 3-4 years, I've seen too many suspect decisions. I can look no further than the Pasquale Hopkins, Castillo, Mayweather, their first fight. The Pacquiao Marquez, both of those fights. What would have happened if you go 15? Chavez Taylor won. Perfect example. We need to go back to 15 rounds. This separates. You would have had separation. You would clearly be able to see, in my opinion, who is going to step forward. Who's going to grab that brass ring? Aaron Pryor showed who he was in those championship rounds. So did Sugar Ray Leonard. We need to have this. We need to return boxing back to 15 rounds or less for championships. There's been too many controversial fights going back to Hopkins and Taylor. It's just nonsense. Needs to stop. Going back to the 1-point victory, Roy Jones over Hopkins. And it's been downhill ever since, in my opinion. Holyfield, Lewis, both fights. Ludicrous. We gotta get 15 rounds back up in here. sonny2215 coming at you. Hopefully I'll hear what you think.